say. Okay, please welcome the social networking groups, and we're going to start with the cons.
I'm Fran Jasinski. I'm Megan Wright. And I'm Kylie Serpico. Our presentation is on the cons of social media. Social media is defined as websites and applications that enable users to share content or participate in social networking. The three cons we'll be discussing are social media's effects on the brain, cyberbullying, and the spread of disinformation. Good morning, my name is Elizabeth Mulvaney.
My name is Annie Cervantes.
And I'm Derek Leifer.
The purpose of our presentation is to list the pros of social networking to the parenting committee so that they can make a list of pros for the parents to share with their kids. And the social networking started out in 1979 when they formed the bulletin board systems, which would allow several people to communicate over one server.
In 1997, the modern version of social networking was created by 6 Degrees website. It was developed by Andrew Gretchen. It was the opening doors into Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter by making it be able to friend one another by using social groups and friends and family. Some advantages of using social networking is that it helps increase business marketing, helps improve students' gradings, and increases contact between one another.
Social media has a large effect on our brain, everything from becoming addicted to these sites to creating chemicals within our brain. When you're using social media, scientists refer to this as being put into a zone. This is when your brain is focusing 100% on the social media and you're not paying attention to the world around you. When using Twitter for just 10 minutes, the amount of oxytocin in your blood is increased by 13%. This is the chemical that allows you to feel harsh emotional pain. When getting a text message or notification from your phone in your pocket, the amount of adrenaline in your bloodstream is increased significantly, along with what scientists refer to as FOMO, the fear of missing out. This is when your brain believes that the text message or notification is more important than what you are currently doing.
Social networking is a good way for businesses to market for their products. Businesses use marketing for different age groups. For example, in Business Insider in 2013, they listed that the Facebook users are 84% users in the ages of 18 and 29. The businesses that would have products that would target these individuals would have to market in a way that would capture their interest. Then if the consumer liked the product, the businesses would depend on the fact that 81% of users would depend on their friends to buy new products. The graph on the right shows that the business increased by 10% when they exported with the social networking sites. This would lead to larger amounts of demand, which would lead to larger amounts of buying the products and then lower prices. This would show that 90% of businesses use this tactic to increase their sales.
Another major con of social media is cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is a terrible situation that mostly teens go through, and it occurs over a lot of social media websites such as Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and many others. 81% of people believe that cyberbullying is a lot easier to get away with than bullying in person, so it's more common. Sending threatening messages online or spreading rumors about people or even posting harmful or embarrassing pictures are all considered cyberbullying. And an example of posting harmful pictures is in September of 2012, a 15-year-old girl named Audrey and 3 of her friends went to a party and they were drinking underage and she fell unconscious. And her friends left her there and she was taken advantage of and people took pictures of her and the next day she saw them all over her social media. And people left her very cruel and rude comments and they called her very unpleasant names. and they kept posting the picture, and they basically just tormented her. And about a week later, she committed suicide. And 49.5% of students have been bullied online. And in June of 2012, as many as 800,000 underage children were cyberbullied. And as you can see from the chart going from left to right, about 25% of children under the age of 10 have been cyberbullied, and about 21% of children between the ages of 10 to 13 have been cyberbullied, and about 31% of children between ages 14 to 17 have been cyberbullied. Now, in many cases, like Audrey, cyberbullying does lead to suicide, and the Center for Disease Control said that suicide is one of the major leading causes of death, and due to cyberbullying, there are about 4,400 deaths per year.
Another pro of social networking is that it increases students' grades and creates academic opportunities. Professor Kristen Greenhow from the University of Maryland surveyed 600 low-income students and found out they use social networking for career options, tips in college, and it deepened the communication between one another. In 2007, she surveyed about 500 high school students and found out that they use social networking, and it boosted their technical and creativity skills. Up here on the graph, you can see that students that are heavy social media users had good 51% of them had good grades, and 47% of them had fair and poorish grades. As a result of the survey that Professor Kristen Greenhow proposed, the U.S. Department of Education created a plan called the National Education Technology Plan, which proposed students to have social networking as a platform of learning.
Another con of social media is the spread of misinformation. Misinformation is spread a lot quicker and a lot more than corrections are. This leads to false knowledge and, more often than not, backlash. An example of this was on September 11, 2011. The NBC News Twitter account was hacked. These hackers tweeted out false information about terrorists launching an attack on Ground Zero in New York. When NBC News New York and NBC News tweeted out corrections, the corrections were not spread as much as the false information was. As you can tell in this chart, with the green line being misinformation and the blue line being corrections, the misinformation was spread a lot more. Two reasons for this is because usually false information is more interesting than corrections, and little attention is paid to these corrections.
Social networking is a great way to keep in contact with friends and family and is used by many, many teens. Of the teenagers aged 12 to 17, it's approximated that 98% will friend on Facebook people that they go to school with every day. And about 89% will friend people who do not go to their school but still are in close relationships with. 70% of teens will also friend their parents, and another 6% will friend siblings. 91% will also friend extended families such as aunts, uncles, nephews, and cousins. And then they will also friend teachers and coaches, being about 30%.
In conclusion, social media has a large effect on our world. Everything from the way our brain becomes addicted to these things to the information we hear. Over 27% of the information we hear through social media is false.
And there are thousands of deaths every year due to cyberbullying.
In conclusion, social media is a very good thing because you can keep in touch with your friends and family. Businesses use this for marketing frequently, and it has the opportunity to improve a student's grades. Now, many parents don't know exactly what to do with their children and the internet, and therefore look to parenting groups. We suggest that a parent require their child to friend them on the social networking so that they can see their page. In all, social networking is a positive influence because of the ability to keep in touch with a family member no matter where they are. Thank you.
Any questions for either side?
I'm not familiar with the prompts. Can you tell me what the prompt was for that?
The prompt for the social networking situation was a parenting group is going to issue guidelines to parents about social networking, and they want to know exactly what to tell parents as far as what to teach their children, how they should manage their children's social networking site, etc.
Any other questions? All right, very nicely done.